Word up. Hello, everyone. I'm going to give time to my translators to set up. This is going to be a simple party, pajama party specifically. And my two translators said they're alive. No, they're alive. Thank God, I thought they were live. Or was it a good thing? I want to say in advance to my translators that I'm sorry for the immense amount of difficulties they will have this evening. I'll keep it chill. Think about your questions and post them in the link, post them in the current live translation, current live thingy. Online makulad. Okay, the first one was to answer about karma. We're gonna get on that. People are connecting, and that's a good thing. Shivani is still trying to figure out how the software works, and it's okay because it's a tad complicated, but she'll get there. Think about your questions and pose them. We're gonna have the pleasure to answer them. All right, I've been connected for 3 minutes now. I have to start. So, karma, causality. When you have an intuition, you feel an event, okay? Therefore, intuition is connected to the karmic plane. Karma is cause and effect. It's causality, okay? So, I'm gonna do a karma now, okay? That's a karma. Karma is for you to hear a little pop in the streaming and for me to feel under my knuckle the pressure of the table. A karma is just a cause and an effect. It's not a punishment. So karma is a plane in where events are prepared. Okay. I'll give you an example on how to understand the subtlety of the karmic plane. Physical mass is very tangible. The animal plane is above the physical. The animal plane, or the vital plane, is where you touch, if you feel, you live. It's the power and the pressure to move you forward or into an action. That's will, okay? So the animal plane is willpower. and it's where you perceive with your senses. More subtle than that, but still very dense, your emotional plane. Your emotion, you feel them as heavy inside when they hurt. You don't realize they are heavy in extreme moments of joy, but they are very present. Okay, so they have emotion have a certain level of density in terms of consciousness. Something much more subtle than emotions is thoughts. So thoughts fly by super fast. They come and they go super subtle. Emotions are heavy. Something heavier than emotion is will, or the animal level, perception, density, and more dense than that is physical mass. Okay, so the higher we go, the more subtle it is. More subtle than thoughts is dharma. To give you an example, when you have a moment of self-realization, you feel so high, so intense. Ah, I just understood something. We could say this is a moment of dharma. It is so subtle that you can't produce it at will. And it happens in a much more subtle way than thoughts. Thoughts, you can still decide to have them. Dharma, it's another level. So you can't produce for yourself a realization. They happen when they happen. But what you can do is contemplate what you've already realized and eventually go back into this state of bliss or greatness, simplicity. It is very subtle, but quite present, less dense than mind. Something even more subtle than dharma is karma. Karma, the same way that thoughts are 10 times more subtle than emotions, emotions are dense, dharma is 10 times more subtle than thoughts. It's a feeling, mostly a realization. 10 times more subtle than that is karma, causality. It is extremely subtle. But when you have an intuition, you feel karma. Intuitions are extremely rare, even more rare than moments of dharma. And that is how subtle karma is. So we would have intuitions sometime. Some have none. Some have a lot. Some people have a lot of intuition. So intuition is about events. It's a filtered perception of the causal plane, basically karma. To be active on the karmic plane is to have awakened so much as a soul that you perceive streams of causality as they happen. Okay? At this point, we don't call it intuition. We could call it revelation, mediumnity, clairvoyance, stuff like that. So that is how subtle is the karmic plane. One level more subtle, or 10 times more subtle than karma, is pure consciousness, localized consciousness. That is who you are, a localized soul. So the level of karma is just another level of existence we have. And each level is more and more subtle. The densest is physical mass, then the animal behavior, genetics, perception, nervous system, willpower, enslavement to our own passions. That is very dense. More subtle is emotions. They're still heavy, but less than the animal pressure. More subtle, the mental plane, then the dharma, then the karma, then pure consciousness. Okay. And above that, there's three more, but it's non local. It's not about us, it's universal. Above our local consciousness, there is the universal Shiva, the universal Vishnu, and the universal Brahma. Okay. Shivani, can you confirm that you are live just for me to know? And if you're on your own page, can you post? Okay, yeah, Shivani's live. Very good. She's doing it the good old ways. To keep talking about karma, priorities. I'm kidding. Drinking as karma. Did you know that? There's going to be a cause of going through a full bottle slowly but surely tonight. Mm. That was a gift. It's a bottle of Pinot Noir, Charme Chamberlain Grand Cru du domaine Tapenot de Merme. It's a Bordeaux, basically. And it's quite awesome. And I'm stretching it so I don't get drunk. Take a deep breath and observe inside. Causality. Karma. I wonder how my translators translated that. Forget it. Eso. Causality. When you have an intuition, if you follow it, usually you'll never know it was an intuition. It goes fine. But when shit happens and you felt it before, you'll say, I knew it, or I should have followed my intuition. When you are dormant at the karmic level, your intuitions are brief, unclear, do not carry a lot of information, and only a drama will reveal that it was that. Okay. As you get more skilled, you'll have a deeper understanding, feelings that are more accurate, richer. Be careful. Everything you perceive is filtered by your own ego. So don't count on it too much. Allow causality to inspire you. How to do that? How to expand? Step one, do honest personal growth for at least a decade with spiritual practice, mantras. Step two, exist as a soul as much as a human. How to do step two? do step one. That's pretty much it. Okay? Exist as a soul, and that information will be rich. Korang asked, how do you connect to universal Vishnu? Same answer I just gave. Okay? Do your practice, it will happen. But I'll give an explanation later. Okay? Good. You see karma as a punishment, and that's your flaw. You will perceive karma when you want to see it. If you have a karma now, most of you, oh no, I don't want the karma. And you literally choose not to see it. So what happens? Your wish is offered to you. You can't see it. You're blinded to the causal plane. You see your karma. I'll repeat an example I use a million times. You see your karma as a big rock falling down the mountain going towards you. I see karma like if I'm at the top of a mountain pushing rocks down, not towards you, just setting in motion things. To see karma, you have to really want to become aware of it. And that means, my Lord, every lesson that I have yet to learn, every responsibility I fear taking, show it to me. I want to know who I am. I want to see what I created. And I want to perceive this power of causality. So show me. Allow me to live it. Be honest in your request to awaken to your karma, and it will be shown. Those who practice the seeds of truth or the arbatel, their karma is thrown at them. It's a profound desire of responsibility at the divine level. Ask yourself, do you honestly want to perceive karma and causality? Do you want to awaken as a soul? For that, open up. Be ready. Stuff will crash. But if you don't ask for it now, it will come anyway later with interest. Karma makes a bit of interest, not much, but it grows over time. Okay? Potentials that nourish together. Good. That's how you become aware of the causality. That will not make you perfect. I've seen causality 2 years in advance, and I've involved myself in counseling various countries in their Department of Defense. At that time, I cared about that, and I contributed to saving lives. Now that it is not my focus anymore, I get no information from what each country is doing. Nothing. Because it's not an honest quest. I don't desire that information. But for a time, It was cool. Now I would try, it's not honest. I don't deeply desire affecting the way lives are saved right now. I have a different focus, which is to get a maximum of people to evolve, discover compassion. That's my main focus, discover compassion for everyone. So, all of this was about causality and karma. Get to this point where you want to see it. Get to this point where you are grateful when a karma happens. Thank you. Regardless of the pain, thank you. Because at least I can see it. Okay? How do I see more comments in that thing? Let's go for other questions. You're going to find me boring, Helena. What is the function of an orgasm? It is to motivate your animal to reproduce. It is based on survival. This is so fun and so dense that it has power over your heart and your mind. So the animal is denser than the emotional and the mental. So your animal, when it has a potential of desire, it will be more strong than any emotion you have or any belief you have in your mind. So it will force you to go and copulate regardless of security, prudence, responsibility. That is how the animal ensures survival. It makes you seek that pleasure more than any other influence. That's the purpose of an orgasm. The fun that you have is to motivate you. The electricity dropped into the body is to pump the muscles so that they will allow the fluids to exchange. For the man, it produces the ejaculation, the delivery of reproduction principles. And for the woman, it relaxes the inside and it allows a more fluent experience of becoming pregnant. I recommend um, contraception as a sense of responsibility. So then you can have the fun of it and not the consequence, at least at the level of reproduction. And that is all I will say. If you want to have a class on exactly what happens during an orgasm in the body, you need to ask Bud Devi, Rachel Bassin, what happens during an orgasm is actually what she teaches in college. She has to give a class on that, an instruction from the government. Okay, so her student will get this, so it's fine. Next question: how can I integrate more efficiently? How to integrate more efficiently? Humility. Not an obvious answer, of course. When you try to integrate and there's a wall and you can't integrate more, drop the subject you were integrating and integrate the wall. Observe the denials. Okay. A good way to observe the denial is Visantara. So I've recorded a lot of class on Visantara. You should look them up. There's one in my YouTube, and there's one in my online classes in this on the Facebook page. That's how to integrate faster and get guided lessons with a teacher. Okay. Next question. How can I awake the Kundalini? Act with virtue. The most powerful masters with the most supernatural abilities were also great philosophers, and they encouraged to act virtuously. Jesus uh, taught about charity and forgiveness. Sakyamuni Buddha taught about compassion and discipline. Krishna talked about yoga practice, also discipline, non-distinction, and efficiency in spirituality. Act with virtue, be a good person, and your power as a spiritual being rises. Okay? Awakening the Kundalini, you can accompany the body with Kundalini yoga, physical and energy exercise, but that's just to prepare the body. The actual awakening of Kundalini is by becoming a loving and kind person. And then it happens. And lots of personal growth. How do I guide a person in the process of death? Someone who has done personal growth already, they know how to do it. They observe the pain, they mourn what they have to mourn to be conscious. But to guide someone else who was not fond of personal growth, prayer and supernatural accompaniment, Amitabha Buddha, 5 elements, it will lubricate the machinery in the convection of the soul as it passes. And morphine if they need it. Down to earth principles. Let's find a way for them to suffer as little as possible. That's how to guide someone who did not do personal growth before. Yeah, there's no solution. I want more comments. Come on, Facebook, give me more comments. I only see a few. Okay. When a person's potentials are moving more towards depression, what is the path out as the person will continue to not accept suggestions or not value in suggestion? Okay, let them suffer. If someone is not ready or resists, let them suffer. Tell them, when you're tired of suffering, you will learn personal growth. Until then, stop being a savior. Next, if you were, oh my God, the questions are coming and these, let's try something else. Got my cell phone close. I'm gonna check on my cell phone. Yeah, because now you're posting questions. Yeah, pajamas. That's how it is tonight. You're answering questions and only last 4 appear in the post and they could keep flowing. So I'm gonna check it right here. All right. Okay, occasionally I see future lives. Why those experiences come and why are we expecting? Yeah, we spoke about past life too much. How can I do to integrate more efficiently? We're good. How can I weaken the kundalini? How do you get a person in death? Okay, how do you heal someone with touch? Power trip dreamers, right? Touch healing is a dream. It really rarely happens. It's not just on touch. It's like the touch just comes to confirm all your pain, all your planes have been transmigrating at once before the event, during, and a bit after. Okay. Science will rarely have an event, maybe once a year, where that happens. And everything just is focused so much, and even the planes beyond the human. So even yourself in a state of Vishnu, so aligned, so into the new reality that it produces a miracle. Extremely rare and um, not controllable, or very rare to control. Okay, basically, yeah, that's how it is. What do you Chino about Shaktipat? What do you think about Shaktipat? Okay, Shaktipat is cool to use your own Shakti to touch someone. Shaktipat, okay, to create this awakening. We usually use the touch on the third eye. It's very local and it is symbolic. I do Shaktipat all the time. When I transmigrate in a class and people awaken so fast, integrations are so easy, that's a Shaktipat. It's Shakti that surprises, subjugate, flaggerbaster, okay? Déflaboxé, déflaboxable. That takes you by surprise. Okay. So yeah, why not? It works. It's Shaktipat is like Diksha. Diksha is over minutes or hours or weeks. Shaktipat is like a moment. It's inspiration. One being can affect another by looking at the other, certain that they can accomplish, certain that they are awakening now. And that contributes. Shaktipat is efficient only when it is accepted or desired. Okay, but yeah, it works. Guru Devi Lili, how to stay compassionate regardless what happens. Very hard, because every part of you human that enjoys drama, or the part of your human that uses drama to flee, will pull you out of compassion. Do a study on yourself on how much you enjoy drama, or if you don't enjoy it, how much you use it as a way to feel important. Oh, but I'm suffering now. Please pay attention to me. Please. You use drama for a reason. Drama is what makes you forget personal growth during a trial. So be skillful at recognizing drama and why you are so motivated by it. So that when drama rises, you recognize it. You will mourn what you were hoping to gain, and you will stay more compassionate. Mr. Bombastic, yes, thank you for the comment. Kent, I don't understand the question. So when their suffering affects others, that's not a question, that's an affirmation. Suffering we have affects others through radiation when they did not resolve their issues. When someone else is suffering and we are affected, either we have the same issue or a similar issue that awaken in us, and we don't want to see our own issue that is similar. So we wish for them not to have it, so we won't see it. That's one. The other way is, am I a savior if I see someone suffering? Yes, Kent, you're right. I said let them suffer as an answer to a question from someone else. The question was, how can we help someone who refuses to do personal growth or listen to wisdom? To that, you let them suffer. You don't save them. So that's why I said that. Do we meet our dead friends when we die, even if they are reborn? I'm going to talk at about two levels. When you die, there's your hopes that come to your mind. Some of the people you see are not even there. It's just your hopes. Others are really there, even if reincarnated in a human, their soul remains formless and non-local, if you want, more or less. So you can still have glimpse of their consciousness, but your human mind dying, while it's dying, is producing the image of them as you remember. So you do meet their consciousness, you are projecting the image of what they're supposed to look like. Susanna, I love your question. If someone was about to kill me, would I defend myself and possibly get karma? Or would I just let them happen to be free of karma? If someone kills me, or if someone tries to kill me, I would immediately go in a position to kill them. I would not only defend myself, I would do so to remove their life from this human experience. And I would get almost no karma. The karma belongs to the one who is initiating the event. Then, killing someone in order to save your life is self love. It produces no karma. If we use this, but he was going to kill me, when actually it's a lie, then you are the murderer. So don't use that. If someone clearly pointed a gun at me, I would empty a full clip in his body in 2 seconds. I would not even hesitate. I consider myself a good influence in this world. In a global perspective, if we keep a wise person and eliminate a potential murderer, the world is probably better. Or we give them a chance to evolve. Okay? So that's how to see defending yourself is. We can't see ourselves killing someone to save our life. We cannot do that because we are so afraid of death, and we're not sure we could manage the guilt. I would go with courage, save my life, kill the other if there's no other option, or if it's the most efficient way to stay alive, and then resort to prayer. God, hit me with my karma. Show me. Bring it. Stay alive. Okay. Gamal Nassar, why is Krishna said to be the supreme personality of Godhead even above the Trinity? It is said that by devotees of Krishna who are uneducated, who believes the false lies of their beliefs, because Krishna was a human and he is a local and limited entity, like any other accomplished master. We can feel one with all things, but we are still here, small and local, while an avatar or accomplished. The devotees of Krishna kept chanting and learning how Krishna is highly accomplished, that they built a system of belief to surpass something, but it's in the head. Okay? It's a false belief. I hope that helps. Let's refresh those comments. It is a local and limited entity. Shut up. Like involved. Shut up. Just the comments, dude. Telling shut up to myself. What is happening when we grow evolve? What are the mechanics? Susie, you are so complicated. What can I do to stop caring for what other people think about me? Mourn. Question from Espinosa. When I go to Spain or Latino America and a restaurant asks for my name, I say Paco Espinosa. It so much looks like a drug lord name, but it's it's my literal name. My human name is Francois Lepine. Francois, Francisco is diminished to Paco, and Lepine, Epine, L'Espinosa, the small needle. Espinosa is my family name, but French. Okay, so it's funny. So I want to tell this little humoristic truth since I saw someone called Espinosa. What can I do to stop caring what others people think about me? Here's a solution. I'm kidding. Observe yourself how afraid and how ashamed you are. Mourn your image. Lose it. Go through go through the times you were ashamed in your past and resolve it. Feel it. Sink into your deep shame of yourself. Sink into your loss, your abandonment. If they don't like me, I will be alone. I will not be loved. Yes, exactly. You are alone. You are not loved. Sit in that. Instead of using your mind to convince yourself, I'm okay, I am loved, everything's fine, drop inside you in the darkest place emotionally, alone, rejected, guilty, and others are not there to love you. And embrace that. Embrace it. Make peace with your addiction to outside love by mourning outside love. Lose it. Then they will think things and you will feel it's okay. I got myself. I'm doing my best. I'll just continue. Okay? Is there any other question? It's okay. No, shut up. Comments. No, the freaking comments, dude. Just the comments. Starting my video. Is there any? Yeah, just stop that. Just bring me the comments. Okay. Dude, shut up. Dude, you don't. Comments. I'm hearing you say shut up to myself. That's so cool. Go to the comment. Okay. Starting my video. I can't stop that. Alright, so can't even see the comments anymore. Any city to meditate on what? The moment I read it, it disappeared. Alright, I got this. Alright. Any city to meditate on the truth? Yes. It's actually boring, and everything in your ego that prefers ignorance will fight. Sat. S-A-T. Sat. Just that. The truth. And you just say deep inside, I want to know. And you meditate. Sat. Sat. And your ignorance will rise and your denials will flare. That's how to meditate on the truth. When we reach a state of suffering, that's from Robert McLeavy, I think his name is. What suits the ego the most so we don't have a major reaction and create a shock to the major? It is just part of the process. As you evolve, you will be less in shock when there's a drama. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Dharma and no dharma or non-dharma, that's complicated. Too much complicated for tonight. No, no, no. Not talking about non-dharma. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about non-dharma. Emotionally, you can feel at the emotional level while having nothing specific to feel. That means you will be aware in your feelings, but there's no potential that takes place. That's non feeling. This feeling, but nothing to feel. Non action, you act, but you're not implicated by your ego in the action. There seems to be no action, yet there is, because you're just flowing in what's going on. Non mind is the same thing. Non mind is you're aware at the mental level or in the mental emotional bridge, but you don't have a rush of thinking that keeps your mind busy. It is not the death of your mind, it's not the end of your mind. The mind is relaxed, conscious, and nothing to pollute it. That's not mind. Dharma is the same. A dharma is what I'm teaching now. It's a series of clear awakenings. Non dharma is to be active at the dharma level without a specific revelation now. And that is the natural state of the soul, to just be there, emancipated in the most simple way. That is non dharma. Can I refresh that?
Saying shut up to myself, that's so cool.
I'm still saying shut up to myself. That's so cool. All right. How would you integrate the fear of death? To integrate the fear of death, meditate on your decaying corpse. In your imagination, of course, not for real. You sit and you meditate on the idea that your body is decaying in the earth, that your ego is disappearing, and that you are losing your existence. Do not practice the siddhi of death doing that, but the word is anta. Instead, you're going to practice non-death, ahanta. I'm gonna write it here. Ahanta. Okay. That doesn't mean to be undead. Well, technically, yes, in the dictionary. It is non-death. Ahanta Buddha Shiva Om, or ahanta. Ahanta. Just accepting death as it is. Ahanta. and you contemplate yourself as dead and decaying. Something more. Imagine the people you love and you'll never see them again. When we die, we have a collective heartbreak with every single humans that we know. You think one heartbreak is hard with one lover? You lose the 20 most important person in your life. You also lose your job, your pension plan, you lose your favorite car, you lose your PS4, your video games, you lose your taste for wine. Imagine the heartbreak of death. It is terrible. No wonder when we die, we shut down. All the ignorance our ego can muster, gather, it comes to hide all the heartbreaks. So strong they are. And we come back. That is a cause of reincarnation. We're still attached because we didn't let go, because we didn't face everything. Okay? So practice mourning, doing the practice of Visantara and the practice of Swastika in its severe context, absolute Swastika. What must I mourn to be at peace again? Practice so that when death happens, you can remain in Swastika. What must I mourn to be at peace again? To be in a Buddha state. So one step at a time. Until then, contemplate the decaying corpse, ahanta. Oh, I mentioned this also. Once you're skilled with ahanta, there you go. Not that. Ahanta Buddha Shiva Om. So non-death, conscious of universal convection. Shiva is universal transformation and convection. So Ahanta Buddha Shiva Om. Next question. Where is the rest of the Vajrabhudan? It'll take time. I'm not sure we had a video of this. Maybe Shivagam recorded that or not. I believe there's a document that someone is supposed to produce. So, Manazin Nivedin Gari Mashanti Rasavada Kanaka Yota Sidyaroga Nam Sidyaroga Rim Sadajiva Amrutayus. And you got the 10 right there, okay? So someone will give a training about that, but it'll take some time, okay? So the second level of integration comes with no control. Or can I feel a true problem emotionally? Okay, first of all, the second level of integration, what is that? Because you're talking about the class that Shivagam gives on many levels. Is that it? Because I never took his classes. I gave him mine. That's a question you should ask Shivagam or an appointed teacher. Yeah. I have the feeling it's a good question, but I'm unable to understand it. Okay. I'll answer your other comment. You feel a wall and it's difficult to feel. Yes. Look at the wall and practice Visantara. Be honest with yourself. When you have a wall and it prevents you from going further, don't fight. You can't go further. So what you will do is you'll go admit to yourself. Last time I got angry, was it fun? Did it hurt? Just be honest. Just be honest. Now I understand about the responsible level. Now I understand your question. Okay. Well, my answer was accurate. Be honest with yourself. Practice when I get mad, when I am disappointed, a force resolves inside me. It is powerful. That force, that emotional power, it removes my free will because I'm not thinking straight. I'm not talking virtuously when the pressure of drama is too strong, when we dramatize. So practice being honest with yourself. It will take time. Just, yeah, I have to take time to admit to myself what it is. This is the end of the class, and we will finish with a little chanting. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mahyobhavaya Cha Namah Shiva. Om Namastestu Bhagavan Vishveshwara Namaskaraya Namah Shivaya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Triambakaya Cha Sadashivaya Cha Mayojivaya Cha Shiva Karmaya Cha Vishwadharma Namah Shiva. Om